Guys, we're going to do are going to be toe splays, and we're going to use the assist of either a mini band or a sock or a piece of pantyhose for this exercise. If you've got toe spacers, those are also amazing, so feel free to use your toe spacers as well. Now what I'm going to do here to show you guys so you guys can see my foot is I'm actually just going to put my foot up here and just kind of let my leg hang out. So what we want to do, we're going to do the first part of this with our fingers. I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to put my fingers in between my toes. Now this may be a little uncomfortable for some, so if this is uncomfortable, then what you want to do is you want to use the sock or the mini band instead. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my toes and I'm going to extend them and I'm going to flex my foot. And extend the toes and flex the foot, okay? Then you want to grab with the other hand the ball of the foot, or really the bottom surface of your foot, okay? So where that arch is, you want to put your hand right in there. What I'm going to do is move my toes around in a circular motion. And if this is painful, then just go slow, make many circles, and then go back around the opposite direction. And I get some clicking in that big toe. May have a little restriction in there. Back around the other side. And just work. See, I'm working around that painful spot. You can bend and then splay, bend and then splay. So for the next part of this, I'm actually going to use my sock and opt for toe spacers, and I'm going to weave it through my toes. Okay. So take my sock, weave it through my toes. All right. And you can do the same exercises that you did, holding the foot. Okay. And around, just creating space in the toes. Now I've got no pain here in my big toe when I do it this way, okay? So what I want to do here is I want to squeeze and then splay, and squeeze and splay. So what that's going to look like if you take the sock out is going to be squeezing the toes and then splaying the toes, squeezing the toes and splaying the toes. And you may not be able to do this, so we're actually going to do this with the foot on the floor. So I'm going to show you a clip of my actual feet doing this exercise on the floor so that we can work on foot strength, foot reception, proprioception, meaning your brain's actual connection to your feet. So I'm going to jump to another clip where you can actually see my feet. All right, so we're going to practice toe splays and scrunches here, just looking at my feet, all right? We're going to add in the big toe by itself as well, and this is one of my feet that I actually have more trouble with, so showing you guys personally what this actually looks like. Now, you see the rounding on the opposite side of my foot, so that means I'm not getting as good of reception on that side, and I need to work on that side a little bit more. It's a little laggy, a little rounded, used to working in shoes, and that's what causes that over time, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my toes up, all of them, try to splay them out, and then I'm going to push the opposite toes down, so outer and inner, and then push the middle toes down. And if you get a little foot cramp, that's totally okay, just work it through. All right, so we're going to splay the toes, stretch them out, push them down, and then flatten those toes down. And if that's hard for you, then just raise them up and then push them down, okay? Then we're going to move into just the great toe. So I want you to raise up just that big toe and push it down. And we're going to try to raise up the other toes and then push those down. And see, I'm getting a little bit better on that outer side of the foot there. So raise up that toe, push it down, and if all your toes come up too, that's okay. So raise up that toe and then push it down. And then you can also try to just raise up that toe and then swap my toes. And push them down, raise it up, and then swap my toes. So if I really concentrate here, raise it up and then push it down. And try to get space in between those other little piggies. You may get like a little cramp inside the foot there, and if you do, that's totally okay. We can then go into where we are doing just some raises of the heel. Working into the ball of the foot. Again, trying to create space. Raising it up and then coming down. So if you're in the seated position and you've got your mini band, then you can take the mini band around the side and also do the same thing that we did. So flex and then push, flex and push.